Damn, I'm sexy. Most of the time lately when I put this on, I used to like try to have it on right before doing it, where people actually think it's my real hair. It's not meant for you to think it's my real hair, but usually when someone wants to try to leave me a negative comment, they actually try to use something and they think this is my real hair because they're so freaking dumb. Yeah, I didn't realize that there was actually really idiots thinking that this was my real hair. So when they try to leave me a negative comment, they use this to think. I mean, so they use this to try to make mock, as in thinking it's my real hair. Oh, but anyways, like I said, it's a bunch of single dudes on YouTube. But listen, the reason why I'm doing this video is I don't know if I said it's my second take. I got to talk a little low because it's really early in the morning. I got some real reliable information that this movie sucks. I wasn't going to see it anyways, but it sucks like the last one. So if you like the last one, all I can ask you is, I mean, are you one of those goofy people that live by yourself or actually never really had a girlfriend? Then I don't need to hear what you think. You know, I know it's like, you know, but I love the last one. And then when usually if I click your channel, you'd be some out of shape fat guy where the couch takes up the whole room because you're just a low life. Not low class, a low life. But anyways, so I got some really, reliable information that this movie sucks. But this is the other thing is, I kind of clicked two people's review and and the thing is I search and honestly, I gotta be honest with you, I look for someone of color too, only person I kind of clicked because I know what's going on here, and that person said this movie sucks too. But this is the thing. It's just like, for this movie, like for people to walk in this movie sucks as bad as my understanding is. I mean, where's the point where you guys stop trusting Jeremy and Chris and all those other reviewers like Shin talk about whatever their name is? The rest of them, I don't even know really what their names are. You know, but when is the point? There's some guy who always has this like thumbnail where he's like, it's a masterpiece. And he's just always so freaking stupid. You know, it's just like, I hate him. It's just like, and I never watch his videos. It's just like he trolls me because I don't like seeing him. Because he always has masterpiece on his thing for almost every single movie. It's just saying he has this ugly, goofy ass face. You know, but listen, this is a thing that has always been a heads up. You know, one of them I'm going to bring up where, you know, it could be true, but I haven't really thought about it too much, but it does make sense. But I notice maybe when it's always like has this like vibe as white savior movies. I have white savior movies, you know, but certain ones I can feel like that feels wrong, like The Last Samurai or something. But Avatar is a white savior movie. The Matrix is a white savior movie. You know, I have Avatar, and but it feels like they get hype up for those movies. But that's, I want to jump past that part because, I've always had the heads up and it's always been on with YouTube, because YouTube is, majority of the big YouTubers are people that hair on one color, date one color, like Baltimore Clubs and movies and shows that start with color mostly, is when they get into this tone, where I said several times, where they're talking about the visuals, when they kept using that, it's always, like I said, dodge that movie. And a lot of times, like I said, like, I probably fast forward through that Christopher Nolan movie. What's it called? I don't know, Oppenheimer. And I remember seeing parts of it, because I didn't really watch any reviews of that movie because I knew better than see the movie. But I remember hearing for a couple of reviews talking about the visual. You need to see this in IMAX, which I brought up in my video about it. I was thinking, when I fast forward through that shit, there was not one scene that needed to be in IMAX. But, it's just like, it's like a movie that, when I know it's a heads up, I don't know what it is, because my mind wanted to say, when Chris and Jeremy and hate channels get hype up about a movie, like, I don't know, is it getting critical drink where it's like, yeah, this is a movie to watch. You don't see that movie. I always have that, and I have been right for the last 2 years. When you see hate channels, I'm suggesting to check out this movie, and Chris and Jeremy and Shen talk about saying you should see this movie. And John, you don't see that movie. It always has been that way. But And it kind of has this feeling like, the extra thing about it. It's like I'm trying to figure out like how I've been so good at dodging bad movies lately. I have been always good at dodging bad movies, but I remember one year, it was just like I was just desperate for a good movie, so I kept making so many freaking mistakes. But it's just like a movie that before even a trailer, it was people in the One Race group are supposed to be praising the movie. But the next thing is I'm just going over all these different things that gives you heads up, so you can learn. It's the same copy over and over again. But it's kind of like with this kind of concept. I don't know, but it's just like something always feels familiar, where I know dodge this movie. I'm going over the things that could be what it is, hearing, the visual's amazing or something is like dodge that movie when it comes from certain people on YouTube or basically a group that hangs around One Color. But one of the other things is mentioning Star Wars. And it's so weird how they mention Star Wars. Like, but mostly it's not Star Wars. Is I said this before. People hang around color. They like to reference movies to another movie, but it's always a movie that there's nothing like it. Like Central Intelligence, like Jeremy was trying to reference to Twins, nothing alike. But it's always a movie that's like, you really got to have no friends of color to even watch Twins or something. It's just like, or even think about Twins. Basically more think about, if you've seen Twins, that's fine. But I mean, if you're wanting to see it again, yeah, you hang around One Color. There's no chance that you have any friends of color. Okay, because I saw clips of that. I was like, I'm not watching that shit. But they keep referencing, like there's other movies like they'll bring up Blade Runner, like movies that are mostly just remembered by people that hang around One Color that no one wants to watch. But Star Wars is a number one thing I always remember always hearing. They use Star Wars to attack a movie or praise a movie. It's like, man, it has this taste of Star Wars and Dune. No, I'm sorry, Star Wars and shit. What's it called? I recently just said it, Blade Runner, and they start around mentioning these other dumb shit, and I'm like, and it's nothing like it, like, but they use it like to praise it or to attack it. And they're like, or they'll say, like Ant-Man. It was like, man, just trying to rip off Star Wars. And it's like, I don't think of Star Wars when I see this movie, but Star Wars is a common thing for people to hang around One Color. If a reviewer still has Star Wars in the brain and they're like, say in their 20s or something, or the younger they are, the worse it gets. If you're still thinking about Star Wars and you're at a specific age, there's something wrong there. I mean, if someone wants to be like 70 years old talking about, oh, Star Wars is my favorite movie of all time, I was like, okay. But if you're like, 20 years old and you're saying that, and you have Star Wars on the brain, you should be doing movie reviews. If you're still thinking about Star Wars during this time, referencing Star Wars to a movie, you need to stop doing movie reviews. That is a serious thing. There is something wrong with you if you're still thinking about Star Wars as in wanting to reference it to movies now. You're stuck in the past too much. That is a one race group. They're stuck in the past. They don't like things evolving. They're stuck in the past. They've always been stuck in the past. That's what I said about it. Shouldn't talk about stuck in the past thinking that Snow White is a great movie, the cartoon. He's a freaking moron and a racist. All right, peace. I gotta go. But that is the one of the. That's all. I don't want to like just go on all day. I just wanted to get you to understand that I really want to bring up that Star Wars. If you're still stuck in Star Wars, but don't get everything else like like erased. Don't forget about the whole scenery. And I forgot what else. It's like where they talk about other movies. They're talking about it's like the '90s. It knows what it is. It's self-aware. That's why it's good, even though it's corny. You dodged that movie. But it's just, I think the oddest thing of all the dumb things I can catch on to about people hanging with One Color when to dodge that movie. If they're still thinking about Star Wars or Terminator 2 and they can't get that out of their head when Terminator 1's better than Terminator 2, it's just that is a heads up that you should not be doing movies because you're stuck in the past. People, it's not like R or any kind of like a good, let's say, what's the word? What do they call movie reviewers, critics of understanding like old movies and stuff. No, that's not people. That's not anything. evolving is better. Movies in the past, that's past. Move on. If you're just stuck in the past, I'm on, man, one of my favorite movies in my top 10 is this black and white movie. It doesn't make you like art. It doesn't make you a genius. It makes you an idiot. Only black and white movie I have is Schindler's List, and that's okay. It's not nothing I'll ever put in my top 30 favorite movies. Anyways, I gotta go. Peace. Star Wars, though. Star Wars.